Hey guys, Bill Soriano here, coming live in the group again, the Impulse Trading Academy group, just to show you again a weekly recap from last week. I did a video last night that I'll show you here in a second, but I wanted to show you the 3 winning trades from this week. We had 3 winning trades, 0 losing trades, and the Impulse scanner actually kept us out of 2 or 3 losing trades during the week, but I want to show you how these 3 winning trades set up so you could see them, see what I'm looking at from start to finish. So let me just share my screen here, make sure I'm sharing my screen. Okay, and of course, let's see if I can just get this back into my group here. And so this is the group where I'm putting this live video here, the Impulse Trading Academy. There's lots of videos in this group here. You could see the strategies. I show you the impulse strategy with smart money, as well as the impulse strategy with the scalping strategy, impulse scalping strategy. But the scalping strategy, I tried it out this week and I didn't have very good results with it. So I put it aside till next week. And I just focused on the smart money trades here in GBPNZD, GBPAUD, and EURGBP. So let me just show you. This is, I just took all the drawings off the chart here to clean them up. And so on the impulse scanner, when I went to it, the 15-minute time frame through the daily time frame was all bearish. Okay, so that's the first step. When we get to that impulse scanner, you could see here right now, all of the time frames are bearish. Okay, that's because it's already made a move downward, which I'll show you. But at the time that we do the scan, we're only worried about the 15-minute, the 30, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily. So we disregard the 1 minute and the 5 minute for this strategy, and we just focus on these 5 time frames, and we select the pairs where all of those time frames are going the same way. Okay, so that tells us we're trading with the higher time frame trend, and price has not pulled back yet. Okay, price has not pulled back yet. So when you look at this, we're using this, we're on the 4 hour chart. Okay, so once we identify a pair that is trending, right? All the time frames are lining up that I just showed you. We know the direction. We know we only want to sell EURGBP. So we come to the 4 hour chart to identify an order block. Now you could do this on your own, or you can use this Forex Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo indicator. Okay, it's a free indicator. Just go to the indicators here and do a search. So when I turn this on, it's going to give me 4 hour order blocks. It's going to identify some order blocks for me. Now it will identify both order blocks sometimes for buys as well as sells. We're just interested in sells right now. It'll also show you any imbalance. You can see here, right, that there's now this huge imbalance because price already made its move. Now, when we were looking at this, we were back here last week. Okay, so if I can just show you this replay here, I'm going to just use the replay button to kind of go back. Okay, so we were in this area right here. Okay, and so we identified our order blocks here, right? And so price has now come up into our order block. Okay, now the indicator here did identify 2 different order blocks here, but we were focused on this one right here, and I'm just going to highlight it for you so you see it. This one here, we didn't get we get a break of structure here, and so we were looking for price to move into this one. So we dropped down to the 15-minute chart. Okay, you could see the price has moved up into our order block. That's what we expected to do, right? And now what you're going to do is you're going to set an alert here for this Hall moving average. That's what this blue line is. And right now, the blue line says that it is bullish. Okay. It has to be bullish for it to get back to this order block, right? Because price was lower. So we're going to wait for this line to turn bearish before we take the trade. Now you can set an alert for that. It's very easy to do. Just go to the just go here to set an alert. Okay, you can't set an alert while you're on replay mode, but it's very easy to set an alert. I show you in the other videos. Let's just play this forward now and see what happens. Now we're waiting for that indicator to turn red. See if I can just speed this up a little bit here to get it to move a little fast. Oh, and so there, right there. So right here, okay, so it appears that when this candle closes right here, that indicator has definitely turned red. So that's where you want to take the trade at the open of the next candle, which is right there. Now this one has a very short, a very close stop loss, right? It's only about, less than 5 pips away, okay? So we're trying to get a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So we only need price to come basically down to right around here. And you're going to see that very quickly, price goes right down through. And this actually ends up being like a 1 to 7 trade, right? You could see here, it comes down to here, it pulls back up, right? And then it drops even further. So this was one of our 3 trades. This was EURGBP. Now let's look at, real fast, let's look at GBPNZD. So again, GBPNZD, when we went to the scanner, right? And, this was last week, obviously, but you could see now that, one of these time frames is now bearish. But at the time that we did this scan, the 15 through the daily were all bullish, okay? And so we could see here, we have the indicator on. Let's just do a quick replay here to show you where we were at. Okay, so we're looking at this right here. And you can see that we have a 4-hour order block identified for us right here. And so this was where we were looking for price to come back to, right? And price came right back to that area. So we dropped down, we got an alert, right? We dropped down to the 15-minute and we see that price is pretty well down through that order block here. The Hall moving average is red. We're obviously going to wait for that to turn blue before we take the trade, okay? So as you can see here, price continues a little bit lower, comes outside of that order block a little bit, and then right here, on this candle right here, the Hall moving average definitely turned blue. Now, it may have turned blue on this one. We don't get to it till right here. So that actually gives us a little bit better entry, right? Because it's a down candle. So we're going to take it at the open of the next candle right there. And our stop loss has to go down below this wick. Now, what I'm going to experiment with next week is, instead of using the wick, I'm going to start using the body of the candle. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with the stop loss. And I'm going to test it. I'm not actually going to, I'm going to use the wick, but I'm going to also look to see if I use the body, if I would have got stopped out of the trade without it going past the wick. Okay, so that's kind of what you want to test out. That's something you want to test out on your own. And again, in order to get a 1 to 2 on this trade, we have to get back up to there. So we're risking about 52.5 pips to get 104.5, 105 pips, right? So it's a pretty big risk, but again, we use our position size tool to determine what our position size is so that we're only risking a maximum of 2% of our trading account, right? So, and then let's just see what happens now. It turns blue. Now, again, very important, very, very important here. While this is, while you're waiting for this Hall moving average to turn blue, and before you actually take the trade, you have to come back to the impulse scanner and you want to make sure that the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily are still going the correct way. So we want to make sure that we're still trading with the higher time frame trend, and we want to make sure that that trend is not close to being invalidated. Okay. Now, what happened was there were a couple pairs that moved into the order block during the week, and I made a video in the group where you can see it. And I will comment down below this video so you can find it easily below the video where I show that. But there were actually a couple pairs that moved into the 4-hour order block. When we dropped down to the 15-minute, the whole moving average crossed, right? Whether it's turning blue to red for a sell or red to blue for a buy, and we would have taken the trade. But when we checked the impulse scanner, price had pulled back so much that the 1-hour time frame switched. And if that 1-hour time frame switches, okay, that'll switch before the 4-hour and the daily, obviously. But if that 1-hour time frame switches, then the trade is no longer valid. And that actually kept us out of at least 2 trades, I believe, maybe 2, maybe 3. So that's also important to remember. Before you pull the trigger on the trade, you want to make sure that the 1-hour has not flipped. You want to make sure the 1, the 4, and the daily are still going the same way, and you're trading with the higher time frame trend. And as we could see here on this one here, price kind of plays around here for a while, right? Starts to move up. And then just to speed things up for us here, we could see that this one does eventually move up, and we would have gotten out with our profit right here. So that was the second winning trade. And then the third one is GBPAUD. Again, when we went to the impulse scanner, the 15-minute through the daily were all bullish, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, we wanted to identify an order block, right? Make sure our smart money L goes on. So let's just take this back to the beginning of the week here where we're looking for that order block, right? So you can see here, you get a break of structure, and now you get this order block right here. Okay, not only this one, you also have a second order block right below it, but it's already been mitigated. Okay, you have a break of structure here, price comes back, mitigates this order block, and then continues up. And then this order block is validated with all this imbalance here, right? You get a liquidity grab with this wick coming down, you get a big push up, it leaves lots of imbalance. So that, validates this order block for you. So we wait now for price to come back, and there it comes back. We get our alert, we drop down to the 15-minute, and what are we going to wait for? We want to buy this, so we're going to wait for this whole moving average to turn from red to blue, and then we're going to get in. And again, this is on the 15-minute time frame. The order blocks are identified on the 4-hour. The trade is taken on the 15-minute. Okay, so price comes down through that order block. Remember, there is an order block right down below it as well. Okay. So just to go back to the 4-hour and show you, right? That. It's waiting, taking a minute to load, right? We had this second order block down here, right? This was our first order block. And now we had another order block down here as well. So what happened is price went through the first order block, okay? But the red line never changed. And then it went down into the second order block. So this trade is still valid as long as when we check the impulse scanner, right? As long as we're still trading with the higher time frame trend, and as long as that 1-hour hasn't flipped, right? And you can see we're still all across the board here, even though this is now Saturday and the week is over. but you want to check that all the time to make sure. And so now we're waiting here, right? And then right here, we get the flip, right? We get the flip here. We would get in at the open of this next candle here. And again, we could decide to put our stop loss at the wick here, which is about 53 pips away. Or if we were a little more aggressive, we could use the body of these candles right here, which is about 44. Okay. So here you're trying to get that 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio trade. And I believe that this is the one that doesn't quite hit our take profit, but since it's Friday afternoon, we would have to exit the trade sometime after 3 p.m. Eastern time because we can't hold any positions over the weekend. So actually, I put that just to make sure I have that stop loss. Like I said, you could play around with the body or you can go for the wicks, right? Price makes a move up here. And then we can see that it's going to finish the day right there. And like I said, if that doesn't hit your take profit, you would have to get out sometime after 3 p.m. Eastern time before the market closes. And so you would be out with almost a 2% gain if you were risking 1% of your trading account. So that's the way these trades played out for the week, guys. There were 3 winning trades. There were no losing trades. Like I said, the scanner, the impulse scanner kept us out of a couple losing trades because when the alerts went off on the 15-minute telling us to take the trade, and when we checked the impulse scanner, price had already pulled back too much in the 1-hour time frame, was invalidated, and we were no longer trading with the higher time frame trend intact. So that's it, guys. Any questions, drop them down below. If you're ready to get started so you can get access to our impulse scanner, just let me know. I'll send you the link. You could try everything out for 7 days. If you don't like it, you can ask the company for your money back and they'll give it to you as long as you're within that 7-day window. But during that 7 days, you can use the scanner. You can get on our live training in the community. You can get on 14 live training sessions with the educators for this scanner. And the company that we're with, they do 14 live sessions a week showing you how to take trades using this impulse scanner. And this is just one of 8 scanners that you get when you join our company. Have a great day, guys.